Peek under the title of Warner Brothers Discovery and find some of the world's most iconic characters.
What's up, Doc?
Who have marched into a cultural library that spans decades, from classics like The Wizard of Oz
You're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard.
to a Harry Potter franchise worth $10 billion. Warner Brothers has the rights to them all. But perhaps this epic blockbuster, one of the biggest television shows of all time, best describes the latest chapter in Warner Brothers' story.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
This battle between two kings of media, Netflix and Paramount. A battle that some believe could mark the beginning of the end for Hollywood.
Hollywood, the magical Mecca, movie land.
Some of that magic has already been dimmed by the advent of streaming services, where movies are released soon after their cinema debuts. Meanwhile, media giants are cashing in on bingeable TV series in the place of traditional films. But there are fears that Netflix's $72 billion bid for Warner Brothers could accelerate that trend, with some warning that redundancies and higher subscription costs for streaming services could follow. On Friday, it looked like a done deal, but today, Paramount Skydance entered with a hostile bid after, guess who intervened?
Should they be allowed to buy Warner Brothers? Should Netflix?
Well, that's a question. They have a very big market share. And when they have Warner Brothers, that share goes up a lot. So I don't know. That's going to be for some economists to tell. And I'll be involved in that decision too.
How unusual is it that Donald Trump is getting involved in this?
So it's not unusual that Donald Trump is getting involved. It would be very unusual for a U.S. president to get involved. But we've seen this administration basically want to play direct leading roles in mergers and acquisitions. They do that with no subtlety, and their motivations for this are also fairly clear. They are looking for a political advantage expressed through media.
David Ellison, who became Paramount CEO after its merger with Skydance this summer, has ties to Trump through his family. And today's bid actually has backing by a private equity firm owned by the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. But in true Trump style, he today declared he isn't happy with the new ownership either, after Paramount's news network CBS aired a 60 Minutes interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has become a thorn in the president's side.
His words, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Those are death threats directly fueled by President Trump.
It is extraordinary that in the media landscape of Trump's America,
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
being friends with the president could determine who takes control of one of the world's most iconic cultural archives.
Anushka Rastana there. Well, a short while ago, I spoke to CNN's media analyst, Brian Stelter. I began by asking him for his reaction to Paramount's takeover bid.
Paramount is very, very eager to get as big as it can, as quickly as it can. CEO David Ellison and his father, Larry Ellison, who the billionaire behind Oracle, they very much believe that they have an opportunity to scale up and create a very big media empire to take on some of the tech giants like Apple and Amazon. That's ultimately what this is all about. It's about Paramount trying to get really big, and it's doing this with a hostile bid for all of WBD. So now, in some ways, this is off to the shareholders to decide who has the superior offer for the assets.
And so it went to the board, and now it's going to shareholders. It's a lot more money than was previously put on the table. Do you think that some shareholders might think, we've got low ball offers in the past, do we really believe what's going on, and do we like how this has been handled?
Right, Paramount is engaging in a really intense PR campaign today, saying we've got a superior offer, it's an all-cash offer, it'll be approved more quickly, and it'll be better for Hollywood. We haven't really heard Warner Bros. Discovery or Netflix's response to that yet, so that is what we are now waiting for. Some of it, though, can be predicted. We can predict that Netflix will say that it's up against giant rivals like Google's YouTube. We can predict that WBD will say that its linear cable channels, including the one I work for, CNN, are valuable and should be valued more highly by Paramount or by another bidder. So this is far, far from over, and honestly, it's a lot like an episode of HBO's Succession.
Also, what's been the Trump effect on this? He's been unclear, saying he'd support the bid and then not. What do you think is the impact here of President Trump on what's going on right now?
His answer changes. His answer could change tomorrow. But his answer on Sunday night was that he likes the head of Netflix. He thinks the head of Netflix is a tremendous guy, but he's concerned about how big Netflix and Warner together would be. So Trump is keeping his options open, saying he'll be involved in the deal which breaks with decades of past precedent. Trump also railed against Paramount and the Ellisons earlier on Monday as well. So Trump has been expressing some concern about both bidders. And in an ordinary political environment in the U.S., we would not be that interested in what the president was saying about a media mega merger. Normally, it would not be on his desk. But with Trump, it is. He's a transactional president. He wants to be very involved. His opinion will matter a lot, but he does not get a veto. At the end of the day, his DOJ, his Justice Department, will decide whether to sue to block any of these deals. And ultimately, it could go to court, and a judge can decide. So I think it's important to note Trump can make this process painful, but he does not get a complete veto over the process. And clearly, Netflix, because it pulled the trigger on Friday, it believes it can move forward with this merger.
And finally, Brian, I've got to ask you, what do you think it means for CNN? I know that lots of your colleagues will probably be having conversations as well, because this deal envelops CNN in the discussion now in a way it didn't before.
Paramount clearly wants to own CNN. Netflix is only interested in owning the entertainment assets, but at David Ellison and Paramount, they want to own CNN. They wanted to bring it together with CBS News. There's some concern in some quarters about whether Ellison's too cozy with the Trump administration, whether he's doing too much to appease Trump and win Trump's favor. Then again, you've got President Trump earlier today attacking Paramount on Truth Social. So it is complicated. It's very complicated. And I know there are lots of journalists at CBS News just trying to do their jobs every day and doing them successfully, covering the Trump administration every day, despite all the political and corporate drama above them. And the same is true at CNN. Lots and lots of journalists who just want to report the news and not have to worry about who owns the company.
It really feels like a latest blockbuster, doesn't it? Brian Stelter, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thanks.